John Cable on the mighty 1630 KCJJ. Currently, it is 66.
Actually, a listener in Mount Pleasant said they're having a thunderstorm at the present.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, just messaged me. Our humidity here is at 131%.
Yeah, it feels like it, doesn't it? I was just talking to Eric here. He mentioned that Head East was the first band he ever saw live.
That's right.
Damn good show.
Yeah.
I've seen them maybe 2 or 3 times. They performed in Muscatine.
Yeah, they played
times.
Anywhere.
Yeah, they do. I mean, they do. They don't,
yeah, because they're from like Southern Illinois or Missouri, somewhere around there. So they had played their share of gymnasiums, where you saw them, right?
Yeah, actually at Barnhill Fieldhouse in Fayetteville, Arkansas in 1981, which was where Arkansas's basketball team used to play basketball.
They did an acoustic version on KFMH in the 80s, the day of their concert that they did on the riverfront. It was Great River Days.
Yeah, those were fun.
And just the nicest guys, and just, I don't know, just good concerts. And I think they were at the Call.
They might have been.
I don't know. I don't remember this. I remember seeing them 3 times.
Yeah.
Each time it was a good show.
Another song I liked of theirs was "Get Up and Enjoy Yourself." Remember that one, Eric?
Yeah,
I do. Yeah, yeah,
it's a good one.
Yeah.
Eric is here from Summer of the Arts. He's sitting in for Lisa, who's on vacation this week. But we were definitely in capable hands because not only because of your musical knowledge, but you have notes. So
I do have notes. That's right. That's right. I tried to prepare myself.
So,
you caught me off guard a couple weeks ago, so I'm trying to outwit you.
Yeah, there you go. So 2 live performances this weekend.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Tomorrow night at the down at the Pedmal stage, we've got some great jazz with the Vivian Shanley Quartet and Betsy Hickok and Ron Roberts Quartet. And I've heard Vivian Shanley mainly on KCCK, and she's fantastic. Her band is fantastic. I know that she played the Jazz Fest not this past summer, but the summer before. And then Betsy Hickok and Ron Roberts, I know mainly from. I've heard Betsy a little bit, but I've seen Ron play guitar duets with Steve Grismore.
Oh, okay.
And anyone who's keeping up with Grismore,
Yes,
is
a
fine guitar player.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm really looking forward to both of those.
I do like a nice jazz guitar.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I heard Wes Montgomery, I was like, this is the S right here.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
And there's other great ones as well, but Wes was the one that kind of stood out for me back when I was a little kid anyway. I still enjoy his music, and jazz is a really great thing to see live. It seems like it translates better, with the interaction with the crowd and everything. It's great in studio. Obviously, there's great studio jazz records, but just being out and we've had the Jazz Fest, and obviously people know that because they come in droves to see the live jazz here in Iowa City. So it's a great opportunity to see it one more time again before the summer ends.
Absolutely. You get to see people playing together at a really high level, right? You get people making musical decisions right there on the spot.
Yeah, and there's sometimes you'll see a look between 2 of the musicians on the stage like, oh, we're doing that, okay.
Right.
Or, wow, you got that, you're in this pocket right there, I'm going to follow that right along.
Yeah,
so.
collective improvisation.
Yeah.
It's a great thing.
It's pretty great. Yep, and we always get some really great acts for Summer of the Arts, and that's due to the sponsors.
Absolutely.
These people get paid. And, Summer of the Arts, you guys work on a pretty, let's face it, a pretty limited budget, but you're able to get acts like that to come and play because of the sponsorships.
Absolutely.
And, they sponsor like the show at the Friday Night Concert Series. We have, general sponsors. I think McGrath Toyota is like the sponsor for the Friday Night Concert Series.
The overall sponsor is McGrath Toyota, who sponsors the entire series, and then this particular sponsor is sponsored. This particular concert is sponsored by the Graduate Hotel, who are actually sponsoring 4 concerts this year in the Friday Night Concert Series, and whose support helps us extend it all the way into September.
Well, that's kind of the another fun thing about the Ped Mall is you see people who are at the Graduate Hotel. Maybe they're from out of town visiting their kids or for whatever reason, and they come out and they hear this music and they're kind of flabbergasted by it. Like, does this go on all the time? And like every Friday in the summer,
every Friday through the summer. That's right.
And it doesn't cost anything. No.
Pull up a chair.
Pull up a chair. Exactly. Now and then tomorrow. Is the monthly concert at the Riverfront Crossings.
Absolutely, and I'm really looking forward to this.
Rhythms at Riverfront Crossings.
Rhythms at Riverfront Crossings this month featuring Dave Zolo and the Body Electric.
Dave's been all over the place lately. You know, for a while there, he was touring across Europe, and he's been playing a lot more Midwest dates this year. Mm-hmm. And which is to our advantage because we get to see him. I think he played up at Blues and Barbecue a couple weeks back,
yep.
and you know he plays and opens for different acts if they ask him to, and he's such a talented guy for one thing, and another thing you talked about Head East being real nice, and Steve said the same thing. I don't know a nicer guy than Dave Zolo.
Oh, Dave is a great guy. He's an absolutely great guy. He's done a lot around here. He's been around here for a long time. And has done a lot for the local music scene. He's got with his little label Trailer Records, which I heard the Greg Brown album that came out on Trailer Records before I even moved up here.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I met Dave Zolo playing at a little bar in Tuscaloosa, Alabama before I moved up here too. And
now, how long when did you move up here from Alabama?
I moved up here in 2003.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was the impetus for coming to Iowa?
Graduate school.
Oh, okay.
And not wanting to. My wife and I were living in Tuscaloosa, and we didn't want to drive 40 hours every vacation because we were driving. We were driving from Tuscaloosa to Fayetteville, Arkansas, to Muscatine, where her parents lived. They live in Iowa City now, and then back to Alabama. So we had this 40-hour triangle of driving, and we decided to eliminate that by having me go to grad school in one of the cities where our parents lived.
Nice.
Yeah. And
it worked out good for you.
It did. Well, and Dave actually has an honorary degree from the American Studies Department here at the University of Iowa, which is where I came for grad school. So after the show, we had a little talk, and he said, I think you can do what you want to do up here in Iowa City.
Yeah.
And he was right.
Yeah. And so what is actually your position with the Summer of the Arts?
So I'm the development director. I'm responsible for fundraising.
Right. So and that can be a difficult task at times, but it takes to develop a relationship with the sponsors. I know you don't want to say you're selling them, but you're selling them on the product, which is civic pride and all kinds of different things that are pluses for having this.
Absolutely, and on support for a lively arts community, on support for and we're lucky that we've got sponsors in this community. We've got people in businesses who understand the importance of the arts and understand the importance of having a lively music scene with lots of talented people able to work and able to get out and see people in a variety of venues, not just bars.
And you've kind of outgrown the name Summer of the Arts because you start in the spring now and go into the fall. And you could call it all but Winter of the Arts, but that would be a little kind of wordy.
All year of the arts. Right. And we've even got the Holiday Thieves Market in December.
Exactly.
So, summer goes all year for us.
Yeah, it sure does. And thank God it does because, it gives you a chance to go out and see bands that you might not normally would want to take a chance on. But when the cost is right, which is free, and it's the Ped Malls always seems to be comfortable. There's always a place where you can sit in the shade. There always seems to be a breeze blowing through there, even on the hot days. And once the band starts, you really kind of forget about maybe the heat sometimes.
Yeah, well, and that's something that music does. Is music creates the experience. It creates an experience where you are, and that's something that we try to do.
I was down there a few weeks ago for one of the shows, and we set up at the tables there, where people can come and make a donation or pick up a schedule or something. The sun just bears down on you at the beginning. And it was pretty hot that day, and I was kind of feeling it. And then the band started, and you know what? I started feeling like, I'm going to enjoy basting in my own juices here while I listen to this band. You just kind of forget that part of it, and you're just like, the music's great. I can put up with a little sweat here. I can go home and clean up. It's fine.
Yeah, absolutely. And, of course, there's, you're down on the Ped Mall. There are plenty of places to stop in and get a frosty beverage.
Absolutely. Kombucha or, even a bottle of water. I mean, they've got food trucks out there. And so there's that. And it's just kind of a neat atmosphere. And like you said, people are coming in from wherever, staying at the Graduate, and they're out, getting dinner or something. And it's kind of neat when they stroll by and they see it and they just kind of stop for it. And all of a sudden you look over and there's 20 minutes later, they're still stopped. So
that's right.
So it's neat.
And, it's the same thing too with Rhythms at Riverfront Crossings, where we've got food trucks actually coming down. We've got Selena's and we've got Luna's Tacos and Moo Ice Cream are going to be there.
Yeah, so you're covering all the bases there.
Absolutely, and a beverage garden provided by Big Grove Brewery.
Yeah, which is right by there. And Dave Zolo and the Body Electric are the show. And both of those shows start at, 6:30?
Yeah, at 6:30 to 8. And I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't mention that Dave Zolo and the Body Electric are sponsored by Shaner Magalliers, Urban Acres Realtor, and Nancy Cole, State Farm Agent.
Oh, very good. Shaner's a big supporter of Some of the Arts.
He is. He's on our board. He's a great guy.
He really is. I like to follow him on Facebook because he's to the point in his life now where he does a little traveling, and he goes to some pretty cool places, and I live vicariously through his travels.
Cool places, but apparently always a hotel room with a terrible view.
Yes.
That's what he likes to share.
Well, anyway, Summer of the Arts has tons of stuff going on. Now, there's no movie this week, is that right?
There's no movie this week, but next week on August 3rd, we will be in Pepperwood Plaza with Hercules, animated
cool.
Hercules
Cool.
from the 90s.
So you can find all that stuff on the website at summerofthearts.org. And you can volunteer, you can donate. You can donate at the events themselves, but you can also set up like a monthly donation or make a one-time donation. And it all helps because the stuff all stays right here and helps sustain this really great organization. And 40-some years been doing this stuff. And it's, we've personally seen a couple of events in the Quad Cities that have, are taking a year off because they've had some financial issues and bad weather. Let's face it, when you do outdoor events, you're kind of at the mercy of the weather, and you have two weekend events in a row where the Saturday's completely washed out. That kind of puts a dent in your budget, and the Blues Society there had to kind of put a pause on the Blues Festival, which would have had its 40th anniversary this year. So. Every little bit helps. So remember that and come out and on a Friday or Saturday night and check out this live music event. It's very cool.
Absolutely.
Eric, thanks for coming by.
Thanks so much, Jim.